Now, here's the Bill Barr sound bites. He was on the Fox News channel last night. And the question, we really learned about a lot about the FISA abuse situation with the Horowitz report, the Inspector General. Do you believe that Durham's investigation is broader scoped in terms of the intelligence agencies that are being looked at?
Oh, yes. He's not just looking at the FBI. He's looking at other agencies and also private and departments and also private actors. And so it's a much broader investigation. And also, he's not just looking at the FISA aspect of it. He is looking at all the conduct, both before and after the election.
So would that include the CIA, NSA?
It would include agencies that could have been involved in this.
Well, that would definitely be the CIA. That's Brennan. We already know from the New York Times. We already know from the New York Times. We don't know diddly squat if it's in the New York Times. Anyway, we know that Durham's looking at the CIA. We know he wants communications records of Brennan. I would so love this guy to get called out for his role in this, Brennan. I think he's one of these guys on TV constantly. You go back and look at what these people were saying. Trump is going down. Trump ought to resign. Trump ought to be ashamed. Trump is an embarrassment to the morality of our country and the intelligence community. This guy was just filled with vitriol about Trump, and it was all lies, uttering all these predictions. Trump's going down. Trump's finished. He just doesn't know about it. Comey was doing the same rot gut stuff. Man, oh man, I would love to see these guys called out. And don't forget, we had this caller who doesn't think any of this is going to happen. Because before any of these people could actually testify, they'll be murdered, like Epstein was. That's his theory. He thinks we're never going to learn diddly squat about this. I remain confident that this investigation is going to hit pay dirt and that we're going to find out. I don't know about punishments. But look, there's a grand jury, and a grand jury means one thing: indictments. That's why you impanel them. Yeah, a prosecutor can indict without one, can level charges without one, but a grand jury, much better way of doing it. Considered to be nonpartisan, of course. Considered to be evidentiary. And there's only one reason you impanel a grand jury, that is to hear evidence for the eventual handing down of indictments, and I think there will be. Now, what punishment, if any, there will be? Who knows? Here's the next bite. The question: are you surprised that James Comey is so convinced that all of this was very above board? He came out and said there was no treason, there was no spying on Trump. None of this that Trump thinks happened to him, none of it happened. Does Comey saying all that stuff surprise you?
The IG report and the recent letter from the FISA court, I think, pulls the rug out from under that analysis. And one of the things that I object to is the tack being taken by Comey, which is to suggest that people who are criticizing or trying to get to the bottom of the misconduct are somehow attacking the FBI. I think that's nonsense.
Were you surprised that he seemed to give himself such distance from the entire operation? Do you believe that?
No. They pulled the investigation up to the executive floors, and it was run and bird-dogged by a very small group of very high-level officials. And the idea that this was 7 layers below him is simply not true.
Now, if Barr is willing to say all of that before the investigation's even over with, then, folks, they know a lot, and this is big, I think. It was run and bird-dogged by a very small group of very high-level officials. The idea this was 7 layers below Comey and he wasn't really aware of it all, simply not true. Small group, very high-level officials. This group is so small and very high-level that it has to reach into the Oval Office. Now, he didn't say that. I don't want anybody to call him up and say that that's what I say he said. But These people doing what they were doing would not have been doing it without Obama being aware of it. And, of course, I think Obama was not just aware of it, but actively involved in it. But I do think he has plausible deniability. I think if they're willing to say all this, that they're much further along, and Barr knows what happened. They're just putting it all together now. Remember, they are taking on a very powerful cabal here. I mentioned this must be 2 weeks ago now. This is a very, very big thing that Barr and Durham are doing. And they're going to have to make sure that every T is crossed, every I dotted, to use the cliche. Because they're taking a shot at some of the most powerful people in the world. And it's not Comey and it's not Brennan. It's the people running them. It's the people they report to. You don't know their names, and I don't know their names. But that's who they're gunning for here. Now, these may be the fall guys before this is all said and done. But this is a huge, you want to talk about bravery and courage, what Barr and Durham are doing here is a big, big deal. They're not just going for some temporary FBI director and a temporary CIA director and this or that. They're going to get as high to the top of this as they can. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. And if they succeed and expose this, it is going to be earth-shattering. I'll guarantee the people that are being gunned for in this investigation are still, at this moment, cock certain nothing is going to happen to them. They are that powerful and in that much control of things. So don't give up on this. This is bigger than you can possibly imagine, riskier than you can possibly imagine.